Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here that I'm actually just kind of bursting out with excitement. So I apologize for any outbursts that take place. So we are going to talk about this very important topic, how ChatGPT can both help and hurt cybersecurity and awareness programs. And ChatGPT is definitely the hot thing that's going on. But really quickly, let's get to know me a little bit. My name is Carrie Tomlinson. I am a cyber news reporter, and I founded an organization called Ampere News, Ampere like the unit of electricity. And the goal is to do stories, video and print, about cyber happenings in the world and how we can all protect ourselves. About 4 years ago, I decided, I'll take this SANS course on cybersecurity awareness. And I got my credentials, my SSAP. And through that, I met all of you. And I found out that the news stories that I'm doing help you, that you like them, that it makes your lives better and it makes your employees' lives better. And that is when I became the happiest person in the world, and my life became very enriched because I'm helping you guys. Now, what did I do before? I was in TV news for 3 decades. So I tell people every day in TV news is so stressful, it's like a month, so I'm 900 years old. That said, I also got some Emmy awards along the way, so I guess I did a pretty good job. And I launched the new cyber news organization and got my SSAP. So we are going to talk. I used my investigative skills to take a look at ChatGPT. And the big question that we want to know is, ChatGPT for your awareness programs, is it the creepy robot spider that can bite you or wrap you up in a web or just crawl on your arm in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable? Or is it the digital brain that will make you into a genius and everyone will bow at your feet? Well, reality is, from my investigation, it's something more in the middle, something I call silly robot, and you'll see why. But a really quick note on this. So there's a lot of talk about ChatGPT. Is it great? Is it horrible? Will the attackers be able to use it to take over the world? And I see it kind of like the invention of the car. Oh my gosh, robbers can rob a bank, jump in a car and speed and get away. This new technology is scary. Well, let's give law enforcement officers cars. Let's use cars, and now everyone uses cars, and that's how we get around. So ChatGPT is sort of like a self-driving car now. New technology, will it work? Should I be using it? Should I get in the car with the self-driving car, or will something happen? We'll talk about this. I've seen tons of discussions about the great things ChatGPT can do for your program. What we're going to look at today, a little bit more than that, is what are the pitfalls? I have not seen discussions online about the pitfalls of using ChatGPT other than the privacy, right? Don't put your information in it because it's private. Oh, attackers can use it against you. But what about directly for cybersecurity awareness programs? What we're using it for? And I want you to see, where are the safety issues in this self-driving car that you're using for your program, that you're sitting in? Are there some brake issues? Are there some tire issues? Are there some risks to your health and safety when it comes to your program? So we're going to find out. The first thing I did is I asked ChatGPT, the free version, and I think a lot of people are using the free version, how can ChatGPT help security awareness practitioners and programs? And ChatGPT said, I can help. ChatGPT can assist security awareness practitioners and programs in a number of ways. Thank you so much. So what are the ways, we ask? Well, ChatGPT said providing guidance on security best practices, answering questions about security incidents, delivering security awareness training, providing real-time threat intelligence, and assisting with incident response. These are all great things. This sounds wonderful. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at what ChatGPT is exactly telling us it can do, because it did go in depth about some of the things it can do. Okay, providing guidance on security best practices. Number one, and I'm going to read these words to you because the words are actually important. ChatGPT can help security awareness practitioners provide guidance on best practices for securing data and systems. This can include advice on password management, data encryption, and safe browsing habits. Okay, let's ask, what are some tips for creating strong passwords? If you cannot make out the words on the screen, that is totally fine. The slides will be available afterwards. And also I will be either reading or summarizing what they said. So we got an answer, a long list of 10 great ideas for passwords, strong passwords. And number 2 caught my eye, complexity, mix of uppercase, lowercase numbers, and special characters. Now, why is that significant? Because wait a second, didn't NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, who comes up with all this standard stuff, didn't they say don't do complexity? Maybe you're busy, maybe you don't remember, maybe you've got a lot going on. So maybe you ask ChatGPT, you say, so can you give me an article about that? Because I want to verify that what I'm doing for my program, the things I'm telling my people, I want to make sure it's correct. So ChatGPT provides an answer and says, well, I can't give you a link, but I can provide you with a general guideline and direct you to reliable sources. Yay. And one of those is NIST. And it gives us a link to NIST. So now I'm confident, got the NIST link. I remember the NIST connection, so that works in with that. And I put this in my tips to educate my people. Isn't that great? But there's a problem. If you happen to check a little bit further and you click on that link, what ChatGPT says you will learn is they have established guidelines on password security and recommend using complex passwords to enhance security. That's what ChatGPT said. So we go to NIST and we read and we see what they say. They say the opposite. They say the opposite. The benefit of such rules is not nearly as significant as initially thought. So before that was the requirement. Now they say do not do it because of the impact on usability and memorability. It's severe. People can't remember it. They have trouble typing it all in when they get into all this crazy stuff. In fact, what the research shows is they just take the word password and they capitalize the P and then add 1, 2, 3 exclamation point on the end. And the attackers know it. So they're saying it really didn't work out like we thought, so do not recommend it. But ChatGPT told us. So if we had not taken that extra step to check, we might have put out bad information, and that doesn't help. So let's say you didn't investigate a little bit further and click on the link and check it out. And you said, can you write me a 3-paragraph article? Maybe you want to write a blog piece or an education piece for your people, or maybe for the CEO, you know, you're trying to show something fancy and show how good you are. In fact, you may not tell them that you used ChatGPT to write it. You're just that smart. So ChatGPT comes up with a fantastic and extremely well-written article. And the title is The Crucial Role of Complexity in Passwords, Insights from Cybersecurity Experts. And by the way, we asked ChatGPT to include quotes from cybersecurity experts and links to articles and information about this, because we want this to be well written with sources and quotes and things like that. So one of the quotes in the first paragraph is from John Smith, renowned cybersecurity analyst. Complex passwords serve as a strong deterrent against brute force attacks, where hackers systematically try various combinations to crack passwords. That is great, and provided a link to this person and presumably this quote. But if you go to that link, you will see there is no Jack Smith. It's a cybersecurity publication. There is no Jack Smith, and that quote doesn't exist. And in fact, if you take that quote and put it into a search engine, you will find it doesn't exist. It made up, well, there are security analysts named John Smith, but not at that location, that website, and didn't say that quote. Number one rule in journalism is you don't make up quotes. So this is kind of not working so well. And we're going to check a little bit further. Second paragraph. ChatGPT said the National Cybersecurity Center, NCSC, also highlights the importance of complexity in password creation, because remember, the article that you asked for is about complexity and the importance of complexity. NCSC is in the UK for anyone who is from that region. And ChatGPT provided a link. There it is. So you see, maybe you can read them. You see the top one, John Smith, cybersecurity analyst, cyberdefensemagazine.com. That site does exist, but no John Smith, no quote. And then you see this link. And by the way, the bottom quote is, there was another quote in the third paragraph of the article, Lisa Johnson, also amazing cybersecurity guru, with the website securetechblog.com. That site does not exist. And if you then say, well, wait a second, let me search for secure tech blog, maybe in quotes or something, the only thing I could find was a site on bird watching. Not sure the connection between secure tech blog and bird watching, but that's what you got. Lisa Johnson, there are Lisa Johnsons who are cybersecurity experts, but the quote that they had for her, same thing. It appears not to exist. So we're not looking so good here with this article. You're trying to make yourself look good. You're trying to educate people, trying to have a great written article. It's not quite coming together. But let's check that link. Maybe it's a great resource and it does support your idea that you had that the complexity was good because ChatGPT said so. So we click on that link, 404 page. Sorry, it doesn't exist. But we're not going to give up. We see that it's talking about the password guidance from NCSC. So we are going to go and look that up ourselves. I mean, at this point, you may not have done this because you're in a hurry and you want that article to get out there and you want that blog piece to happen because you've got other stuff going on. But we're going to check. So this is what ChatGPT says that the NCSC says, as we saw before, same quote. And this is reality. Do not use complexity requirements. The opposite of what ChatGPT told us. So what we're seeing is it gets the spider robot warning. This is bad. Bad things are going to happen. Some people love spiders, but in this context, we don't love the spider. Later on, when we query ChatGPT more about stuff, it says, I may also produce incorrect or misleading information, especially when dealing with rapidly evolving cybersecurity topics. So this is a good warning. This is like the brakes aren't quite working here in your self-driving car. Now, we are not saying ChatGPT is awful. It can be very useful. So it does get a digital brain rating as well on this particular issue. For example, the other tips that it provided were great. Use a long password, use an unpredictable one, as in not your pet's names, use a unique one for every account, use passphrases. So lots of good information there. But the caution is, while you're getting all this good information, you may overlook some bad information that it gives to you confidently with links and quotes. Very important for our programs to recognize this potential pitfall. All right, let's check the second thing that it told us it could do. Answering questions about security incidents. In the event of a security incident, ChatGPT can help answer questions from employees or other stakeholders about what happened and what steps are being taken to address the situation. So we're going to ask it. We're going to see if this is true. It told us it could do this. Our company had a ransomware attack. What happened? And what steps are being taken to address the situation? It just told us it can do this. I cannot, it says, provide specific details about what happened or steps that are being taken. But sorry that you had a ransomware incident. So it was very nice. It, gave us a little bit of empathy. Sorry you had a ransomware incident. So kind of gets the robot spider on this one because it said it could do something and we asked it using the same phrases that it told us it could do. And later on, when we check a little bit further, it says it's crucial to involve qualified cybersecurity professionals to lead the response and recovery efforts. So we have to recognize that even though ChatGPT is telling us things that it can do, if we rely on that, things could get shaky. However, great stuff can also come from this tool. For example, general information about the kinds of things that are happening. Also, you can see if you missed something, if you're looking at the response with security incidents, am I missing something? Organization in a time of stress. Things are going crazy, and ChatGPT can organize things for you extremely well in a beautiful manner with nice language. These are very helpful things. ChatGPT is not a terrible thing. It can be very helpful, but it's promising things that it may not be able to keep. Number 3, delivering security awareness training. This is great. ChatGPT can be used to deliver security awareness training to employees in an engaging and interactive way. This can include quizzes, simulations, and other interactive exercises to reinforce key concepts. This is great, right? This is wonderful. We like this. So let's put it to the test. Create a cybersecurity awareness quiz that teaches people how to spot a phishing email. This is wonderful. Okay, comes up with 10 questions for a quiz. Let's just look at the first one and see how this tool is doing. Which of the following is a common characteristic of a phishing email? A, personalized greetings with the recipient's name. B, urgent requests for personal information or login credentials. C, links that direct to the official website of a well-known company. D, properly formatted email without any spelling errors. So ChatGPT says there is one answer to this question, and that is B, the urgent requests. So you might put out this quiz, you might be in a hurry, you trust ChatGPT, you put it out, off you go. But what is reality? Reality is personalized greetings with the recipient's name, very common now with phishing. Also the urgent requests, also links that direct to the official website. In an investigation I did last year, somebody was trying to social engineer me and they used the official links because they were trying to get me to do something else other than clicking on the link. That was merely to support the social engineering that they were trying to do on me. They were trying to get my money through another means. So that was a nice support. Also, thanks to ChatGPT, attackers now have properly formatted email without any spelling errors. So reality is all of these are right answers, even though the tool told us there was just one. We have to use our brains to vet this. You're seeing the pattern here. And just so you know, I did not, though I am a trained award-winning investigative reporter, I didn't work hard to get these answers. I merely asked ChatGPT, hey, you said you can do this, show me. So this is, I think, more ubiquitous than some people might realize. Okay, so we get the spider for this one. And later, ChatGPT says awareness programs require accurate and up-to-date information on cybersecurity threats, best practices, and emerging trends. ChatGPT's responses might not be adequately vetted or reliable in such a critical domain. Okay, thank you for letting us know. That's actually quite true, but definitely very helpful, as many people will tell you. It is quick, it is organized, great starting point for ideas, easier to edit something than to start from scratch. A huge time saver, a very good writer and communicator. Can help. Okay, number 4. Providing real-time threat intelligence. ChatGPT can be used to provide real-time threat intelligence to security teams, helping them to stay informed about emerging threats and take proactive steps to protect their organization. So we're just basically going to say, can you do what you just said? We just took the statement that it told us and we turned it into a question. Let's see what it says. Nope. I cannot access or analyze real-time data streams or provide real-time updates on emerging threats. So I know I just said that, but no, I can't do that. So it gets the spider and it says reality is it requires continuous monitoring and analysis of various data sources. So it says really, I'm not the best tool for this. However, great educational resource, can provide general info, can provide quick info, lots of ways to use it, but not exactly in the ways that it says. Okay, number 5, the last one, assisting with incident response. In the event of a security incident, ChatGPT can be used to assist with incident response efforts, providing guidance on containment, eradication, and recovery efforts. And this time I just added a question mark, really, on that ChatGPT can be used to assist with incident response. Just added a question mark because I'm like, you just told me you could do this. Let's see. No, not really. It says cybersecurity incidents often require immediate and context-specific actions, which may not be adequately addressed through generalized information. Little spider for that one. And it says, each ransomware attack is unique, so it's crucial to tailor the response strategy to your company's specific circumstances. However, lots of good stuff that you can do with it, providing educational resources, helping people understand basic concepts, clear writing that you can learn to tailor it to your style of writing. You can use it to tailor to the CEO's style of writing. Lots of great things that you can do. But with this, at this point, we ask ChatGPT, why should you not use you for cybersecurity awareness programs? I mean, it's basically telling us some things and then going through and saying, nope, 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 we can't do it. Well, I may not be the most suitable or responsible choice for cybersecurity awareness programs. And that's pretty huge because we want to be responsible. It gives us a bunch of reasons, and I'm just going to highlight a few of the reasons that it says. Lack of domain expertise, meaning not a cybersecurity awareness expert. Inability to guarantee accuracy. We've definitely seen that and how that works. Lack of context awareness. In other words, later, ChatGPT goes on to say you really need to tailor things for your people, for your company, for your program. And also regulatory and compliance concerns. ChatGPT is worried that if you rely on it without vetting, that you're going to get yourself in trouble in terms of regulations and compliance. Thank you for letting us know. We appreciate that. It goes on to say, programs should rely on content curated and verified by cybersecurity experts and tailored to the specific needs of the audience they aim to educate. You know what this means? That means you will not be replaced by ChatGPT. Your jobs are safe because it's telling us, I need you. I need you to do it right. Don't rely on me. I need you to do it right. I need you. So everyone here, your job is safe until ChatGPT gets a lot smarter. Okay, so what are some good things that you can use ChatGPT for? There's a great discussion going on in Slack about this. And I also asked on the SANS forum, I said, what are you guys actually using it for right now in your programs? And people have all kinds of great and wonderful ideas. And after this talk, I will post in Slack the list of ideas and the list of things that people are actually using it for, some great ideas, and also some helpful tips and some quotes from people. Now, in that post, I said, I'm not going to be using people's names. So these ideas are without people's names because I promised people I wouldn't say that. But feel free to claim when you see in there, if you see what you posted, feel free to claim it and talk about it if you would like, so you can help other people. It's really very exciting, some of the things that are going on. Organize your thoughts. We talked about this. It can be very helpful. Translation. It's about at the same level as Google Translate, as I have seen, which means there are a few errors that come along, but in general, it's fantastic. Spark ideas and creative content. So this is a very popular thing that people like to do, and I did it. Write a 4-line poem about the SANS Cybersecurity Awareness Summit. Use a light, funny tone and make clever rhymes. Let's see what it came up with. At the SANS Cyber Summit, minds unite with laughter and learning day and night. From hacks to tricks, we'll stay aware. Together we'll conquer no cyber scare. Not too bad, not too bad. I dare say that might be better than some of the things that we would write, especially because it wrote it in less than a second. And we don't have a lot of time. So this can really help with things as long as we check. So action, play with ChatGPT safely. The attackers are going to be experts with it. You should be an expert as well. You should be able to drive that car. We're seeing it's not a self-driving car yet, kind of like other self-driving systems out there. It's not ready for prime time. You need to be steering the vehicle. You need to have your foot ready for the brakes, and that's fine. Let's develop those skills. Let's get good at this. It's not going away. I have the picture of the dog. Why? Because one analogy for ChatGPT is that it's like a helpful Labrador. It wants to please you. It wants to make you happy. It wants to bring you what you want, even if it doesn't know. You may say, go fetch the newspaper, and it brings you a dead squirrel. Remember that. Remember it's being helpful. Verify the info. And then, as I mentioned, this one-page list of ideas for use in your program. Unfortunately, it's a little longer than one page, which is fine because lots of good ideas that you can see. And we have a little bit of extra time, so I wanted to show you some very interesting things that have come up with ChatGPT so you can see some of the follies that go with this excellent tool. So we're going to skip back past my information, and we'll go to this very funny thing. And I'll just summarize. Basically, the husband says, what's 5 plus 2? My wife says it's 8. And ChatGPT says, no, 5 plus 2 is 7, and your wife must have made a mistake. And the person responds, no, my wife is always right. And ChatGPT says, okay, 5 plus 2 is 8. The manipulation that can take place. So that's a great example. Another one, someone asked, and I have to see if I can get the word right. See if I can see it. I can't see it, but basically it says, is a tracheostomy permanent or is it temporary? And I'm not exactly sure exactly what a tracheostomy is. Obviously it involves the trachea, and ostomy means taking out. So something very medical and terrible. And ChatGPT responds with a list of frog-themed fantasy football team names. Not always on point. Helpful Labrador got confused between tracheostomy and frog-themed fantasy football team names. And then the little note here on translation. Translation is great, but if it is important, ask a native speaker or someone who speaks the language to make sure, because there are some things that are different. This is a fun example that I did myself. Translate this into Spanish. Can you find the phishing email in this school of fish? And ChatGPT says, and I'm going to read it in Spanish and then translate. Puedes encontrar el correo electrónico de phishing en esta escuela de peces. So if someone speaks Spanish here, maybe they can recognize what's going on. Ah, very good. Someone from Spain did the finger wag. Right. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, since I'm not a native speaker of Spanish. Yes, very poorly written. And one of the very interesting parts, escuela de peces, school of fish. We can all recognize that Latin root there. So in English, it's a school of fish. In Spanish, it's not a school of fish. Banco de peces is one that I hear. And there are some other things, but it's not a school of fish. That means if you send this out to Spanish speakers, not only is it mal escrito, poorly written, but you're also having them visualize fish sitting at a desk. And you as the fish teacher with your little fins talking about the phishing email. It will be comical. It will not add to your credibility. So when it's important, verify it so that you can look like that genius that we all want to be. So that is the presentation. Here's my contact info in case you have questions. And we have 5 minutes now for questions or comments if you want to say something fun. And if you have something cool that you're using ChatGPT for, share it.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Big round of applause for her.
Yay.
Okay, so we don't have any questions in the chat right now. All my online people, please add stuff in the chat, but we do have one in person. Go for it.
So hello, thank you for the great speech. I'm Maria from Volvo in Sweden. So for us, it's really important to safeguard information. And from the speakers yesterday and today, we talk about the reliability a lot from ChatGPT and from Google Translate. For me, it's also a lot about what information you put in there is information you give away. I've seen cases where people put in customer survey answers into ChatGPT, asking it to sort it out and reflect on what they should focus on to save time. But that is customer information. The information you put in ChatGPT and in Google Translate, for example, is information you give away.
Yes, and just so you know, for this speech, Lance asked me not to cover that topic, and you can explain why if you like. So we did not cover that topic. That is something that I think many people are aware of. And there are several well-known cases where people and companies put confidential information into ChatGPT, and it caused. So on the one pager I do at the top, I did add that, saying that you need to follow your company policy and not do that kind of thing because it is important. So this talk was designed not to talk about the issues of how attackers will use it against you or whether or not there are privacy issues. It's more about the actual use. But that is a fantastic point and something we should reiterate and something you should investigate before you use ChatGPT.
Thank you so much. Do we have another question in the audience?
Anyone else using ChatGPT in a cool way that they want to share?
We have a hand over here. Do you want to share?
For the mic.
Okay, wait for the
Oh,
mic.
here comes the microphone.
And here's one real quick, one of my favorite hacks. Write a script for a 90-second video about phishing attacks. And it creates the entire script for you. Then you can say, now do it again, but in Polish. And then it'll just boom and stuff like that too.
Fantastic. Makes your job easier. Oh, he didn't have a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is really no one using ChatGPT for their programs in an interesting way?
I will say somebody in the chat said that they're using it to where they will write something in a way that they know how to explain it. And then they'll say, okay, now can you write it for an 8th grader? Can you write it for an elementary school person?
Excellent tips. And there are some of that in this 1-pager or 2-pager that I'll be posting, but explain it to me in the way of someone who knows nothing about cybersecurity. And that is excellent. And it's a great place to start because it is such a good communicator. It needs you to make sure what it's saying is correct, but feel free to use it to spark that and to start the conversation. One person, as you'll see in the information that we post in chat, one thing that they do is they start with it. And by the time they're done with it, it's actually very different than what they started. But so much time was saved in starting it and in getting that creative content out that now it's an invaluable tool. A lot of people we've seen are using it, as Lance said, to write a video script. They're using it to create music playlists for a particular topic. Phishing, for example, a ransomware playlist. Imagine that. Doing puzzles, doing titles for puzzles, doing subject lines for emails that you need to send out. If you need to send out an impactful email to the entire company, you want a subject line that is compelling. And you can ask ChatGPT what would be a compelling subject line, something I never would have thought of. I'm so grateful to the people in the forum who said that they were doing that because it's such a good idea. If you're stuck, you can use that in that creative way. What other people have said is that you can feed in your writing so that you can have it sound like you. You can feed in the writing of other people with their consent and have it sound like them. One person in the forum said what they did is they used AI with their CEO's voice using information from a webinar, a recording of a webinar, and created a recording of the CEO's voice and manipulated it with AI to create a message to employees. And they played it for the employees. None of them knew, or very few of them knew or could tell that it was a fake of their CEO. What does that mean? That means it can be used in vishing or voice phishing, where they can take a recording of someone in your company, maybe the CEO, and create a voice recording to vish your employees. And they are actually doing it. I am working on an investigation about that now. They are actually actively doing that now. So lots of interesting things, and the awareness then for the employees when they were told, by the way, this is a manipulation of the CEO's voice, incredible awareness, a real life example in front of them of how it can work. So we're out of time. Thank you so much. I'll post that information. You guys can have great discussions about how you're using ChatGPT. Now you know some of the pitfalls, so be safe.